Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ignited Live. I'm Charity.
And I'm Kathy.
Happy Tuesday.
We missed last Tuesday because we were traveling.
And also, I had a really bad allergies. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I knew there was something else.
Yes.
Yeah, you should have seen when she woke up Tuesday morning, her eyes were almost swollen shut. They got a little better in the morning,
underneath. But even my cheeks were swollen.
Yeah, but first thing in the morning, it was like, whoa, what happened to you? Yeah. So, and then we were traveling, so we had to cancel. We were actually traveling up to Michigan. A church up there was putting a couple of tents up at a biker festival.
Yeah. That was really cool. I sent or posted, I should say, a little video that y'all could see. It's like a few seconds of some bikers going through, and yeah.
Yeah, and that cool. I can't remember what you posted, but there were thousands of bikers. Yeah. And we had the privilege and honor of serving in the tent with, we called it spiritual readings or hidden things, I think is what they had on the sign. Mm-hmm. And there were, some people had some questions that were next to us. There was a Christian group, and they wanted to know, are you psychics? And the pastor did a phenomenal job of explaining to them, no, we're not psychics. And we're basically, putting a hook out, going fishing. Many people that are in the world, maybe not fully able to understand what prophetic ministry is, but they do understand spiritual readings. Mm-hmm. And when you give prophetic ministry, you're actually taking a spiritual reading. The world kind of ran with that, but it is a term that is not unbiblical, I guess I would say. And so we did that for Thursday. It started Thursday night from 5 to 10, and then Friday and Saturday were 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. I think Saturday night we ended about 9:30, and we didn't go all the way to 10 p.m., but it was the best fun I've had in a long time.
Well, you were there the whole time, so.
Yeah, I was there the whole time.
Yeah,
I certainly was. And even today, we drove yesterday. We left at 8 in the morning. We got here at 11 p.m.
Right.
It was a long day. So it was like 15 hours of travel. And by this afternoon, I said to Chair, I have to take a nap. I can't keep my eyes open. What's really funny about it is that my son had come home from work, and apparently I asked him how his day went at work or something, and I don't recall any of that. Then she told me she had a conversation on the phone with him. I didn't know if she had a conversation. But even funnier to me is this wild storm passed through, and she said it shook the whole house. And I never heard a thing. I was out, I think, for almost 2 hours I slept.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely a weekend to remember, and I'll forever remember it. It was so cool because, you've got people from the church would serve with us in the tent, and some would be out front inviting people in. And I think I was so impressed with the folks from this church, like really impressed with them. They were our workers. And it reminded me of Ephesians 4:11, when Jesus ascended, he gave gifts to the church, and it's for the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry. And it is work. And they did a great job. I think I fell in love with so many of them that, but then to have the pastor there, like he was in the tent serving, and I loved watching. He could go out and bring people in, right? I mean, he would just be talking to them and then bring them into the tent for a spiritual reading. But also there was this pastoral heart that was really precious to see. With, there's a lot of hurting people out there. Mm-hmm. And you might think, well, it was a festival, everybody's having fun, but there's really a lot of hurting people that are out there.
Yeah, I think I walked away from that surprised at the level of difficulty and pain that so many are facing.
Yeah. It was really good. Charity reminded me of a couple of the testimonies we have. I'm starting to write down some things so that we can keep them. It's good to remind ourselves of what God did. I remember ministering to this one man that I saw this apple tree, just this beautiful apple tree loaded with apples. And I told him that one of the things I think Chair was reminding me was some of the apples represented all the good things that he had done for people, and that God did keep a record of what he had done. And there was a big harvest for him. And to find out afterwards, he actually has an apple orchard.
Yeah.
That was like, wow, I love those things that we say it's, it's a little thing, but so packed with meaning for someone. And it was such an honor to spend those 2.5 days there. And 2 full days.
Yeah.
Yeah, full days. And my voice is still a little bit maybe tired. Yeah, there were times when the motorcycles would be going through and they'd be revving their engines. And then on Saturday, this was so funny. On Saturday, it got really loud because there were a couple of kids out there. Yeah. And they were encouraging them to rev their engines. And so we'd be having somebody in the tent and you're almost having to yell.
Or wait for a few seconds as they pass by. And then you think, okay, it's a little quiet. And then, oh, no, one more. And then the other. Yeah.
I think one of my most favorites, well, I think a few, but was ministering to a man and just seeing him as a little boy with a lot of disappointment, feeling like he missed out on life with his dad. And he just broke. And I realized in that moment how the love of God is so rich, and the Lord wants to love on people, and we get to be the vessels that he uses to love on them. Now, I don't know that, I know we did have some salvations, but here's what I always have said, even when we've done festivals or gone out to the clubs or the bars to minister to people, not to go drinking, don't do that, but to minister, is that we're sowing seed. And it's as long as we do our part, right? There'll be those that water that seed along the way. And some of them, maybe we were watering seed that had already been planted in there. And it's God who gives the increase. And so I'm still beside myself with joy. And even the pastor's daughter and son-in-law were there, Brandon and Kelly. And wow, they are a dynamic team. Like, she has this voice and just talks to everybody. Come on in for a free spiritual reading. And it's like she knows everybody. It's kind of like her dad a little bit that way. Like, he'll talk to everybody. And yeah. Did you have any comments from it?
It was good. And the testimonies that you shared, I think those were some of the highlights. There were a lot. There was so many people that came through. And, I think we estimated at least 80 people that came through.
That we had accounted for. I didn't catch all the people, right? But I started writing down names, and we had 80. I know we had others that we didn't catch.
But, but those are the ones that we counted. So like we wrote down the name and counted. Yeah.
It wasn't, real quick. You end up spending time with them. And there was a girl that came into the tent, and we administered to her, and then we just kind of sat with her. She was very numb. Just, I guess that's the best way to describe her, just numb. And found out, after we've ministered to her, that her fiance had been killed. I think it was just 2 months prior. I'm not positive on the timing, but it was very recent. had been killed in a motorcycle accident, and she was broken, but just sat there numb. And the Pastor Tim, started talking to her about where he was at in his life, years ago when he came to know the Lord. It reminded him of her. And he was so good at talking people through things. And then he asked her, so what's stopping you now from committing your life to the Lord? And she looks around, and then she says, I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Something like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And he said, would you like to do it now? And she said, yes. Yeah. And then he hands her this little bag that has a New Testament in it and some information on the church. And anyways, later on that night or evening, Charity saw her walking around with her Bible open, reading it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my word. How cool is that?
I was talking with someone, and I said, it's a privilege that we get to be a part of someone else's God moment.
Yeah.
Like that moment in your life where something shifted.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there's certain points. I mean, some people were very encouraged, and you could see that. But there were some people who knew this was a divine appointment for them. Yeah. And they are acknowledging that it's, right, something unique that just happened, and you get to be a part of that. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I think anytime I've ever done anything like this, I always have at least one person say, you're so psychic. Yeah. That was funny. Yeah. And one girl said, I love the aura in here.
Right. Yeah. Right? And it's the understanding of, their experiences.
Right. Yeah. It is. Yeah. The church cut out these square pieces of cloth for a prayer cloth to hand to people. And it had a QR code on it. I mean, it was a big QR code that filled the little prayer cloth. And it was a scripture and a prayer for safety as the bikers rode their bikes, which was so powerful. Like, they all loved it.
I loved it. Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. Then they handed out the little Jesus, the little squishy. That was fun. And everybody loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great, great week. Very full, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we ministered in 2 services, Sunday morning and 1 Sunday night. And then made the drive back yesterday. That was probably the hardest part of the whole time, was that 15-hour drive. Times I thought, I can't do it. No, I don't want to stay over somewhere and have to get up and drive again.
Sure.
It was nice just to get here and be done with the ride. But yeah. I know some people prayed for us, and we greatly appreciate it. I'm hoping more doors open. I know we have some locations that are wanting to do this with us. But I loved it. If you have, Renaissance fairs or arts fairs, biker festivals, whatever that there is, it is so fun. It's an investment. And I know the church did an investment putting up the spiritual reading tent. They also had a prayer tent further down from us. And I could not believe the workers that came out for it. It's so impressive. It's really impressive. So the leadership of that church has done well in getting folks involved and reaching out. And they're actually having a summer of, what are they calling it? Evangelism. So they're doing things like last weekend, I guess they threw a block party, and they got all the blow up things and, food for everybody, just to reach out into different neighborhoods. And so they're doing stuff all the time. This week, I think they're doing a hot dog thing right at the church. It's pretty amazing. So they're intentional in what they're doing. And the one thing that I find whenever, we go out and do things, it brings life to you. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. All right. Anything else?
I think that's good.
You think that's good? Yeah. Okay. All right. We got to stay with a wonderful family.
Yes.
Forgot about that. What's interesting is when I was a young teen, we lost a sister, my baby sister, Tammy, passed away. In the home where we stayed, the woman's name was Tammy. And when I met her, I mean, we didn't know her before. I don't think we knew her before this weekend.
I don't think so.
They have a prophet's chamber, which is, they have a beautiful home. So we stayed in the prophet's chamber. And then we're coming in, we're meeting her, and sweet, sweet people. But I watched her for a little bit and I thought, she looks a little bit like one of my sisters. I thought, oh, I got Tammy back.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it did something to my heart, knowing that, I mean, there's nothing that gets by God, and he cares about everything in our lives. And even thinking he would put us in a home with a woman named Tammy, who looks like one of my sisters. And that was my sister's name, who had passed away so many years ago.
Yeah.
Which impacted our family a great deal at the time. And I don't think about it very often, but when I saw her and realized the name, anyways, am I digressing a little? I am still so excited over the weekend.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah. It was really, really good. I want to do it more. I'm ready to go do more. It was fun. Yeah, especially we had, there were 2 psychics that I know of came in, identified themselves, and they said, we're just like you. We do what you do. Well, they found out a little different.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We had one person identified themselves as a witch.
Well, when we're praying for people and they come in, and we always let them know that there are many spirits in the earth, but there is only one Holy Spirit sent from God. And that's who we're asking to speak to the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one was alarmed by it. Saying, okay, all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. One of the, one more, I got to tell you one more. One of the girls that was working with us, she happened to see a couple of her cousins at the festival. And so she talked to them, invited them to come into the tent. And of course, we don't know, anybody, but to the man, I said, I saw him on a tractor and just plowing. And the Bible talks about the hardworking farmer and how he's been hardworking. And I don't know all of what was said. And he just started crying. From the moment that I started praying, I had always opened up in prayer first. He just started crying. And he's not a believer, doesn't know the Lord, but he couldn't stop the tears from flowing. And then finding out after, he grew up with a farmer. I mean, he drove tractors. That's what he did his whole life. And it was like, God is so nice.
He's very nice. And the details.
He's really nice. I mean, so, you think you see somebody on a tractor. So what? Or you see an apple tree, right? But then you realize, wow, it's really big what God does. Yeah. Anyways. So if you want to have a festival, we'll come help for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, as we minister here on Ignited Live, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, we are speaking to the person who is joining us on one of those platforms. You may be using a different name, and we may not know you personally, but we are asking the Lord to speak to those of you who are personally connecting with us on one of those platforms. And please remember to put your name in and where you're from. We really enjoy the different locations, the different states, cities, nations. It is a delight for us to be connected with you just on this one night a week. Typically we're on one night a week. Like last week we had to cancel, but
yes.
But I hope you understand when we said we're doing spiritual readings, we're not psychics. We just want to go out and have impact with people in the world, and they understand that term well. And so when you do, and I want to say it again, when you give prophetic ministry, you are actually taking a spiritual reading of someone. And though they've taken it and run with it, it's not new agey, it's not occultish, it's not witchcraft. And it's what we say all the time. There's so many spirits in the earth, but there's only one Holy Spirit from God. And he does want to speak to us. Mm-hmm. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Also, for those of you watching on Instagram, you can jump over to our YouTube channel or our Facebook. That's where you're going to see the full screen. For whatever reason, we still have yet to be able to resolve this out of, I don't even know. It's, well, if we lean in really close, you can see us for a second on Instagram. But for some reason, it won't format correctly. So, yeah.
And if we look a little tired, you know why now.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Debbie from Norway on Instagram. Debbie, the Lord has put so many gifts and talents in you. And one unique gift and talent that you have is to be so welcoming and loving with people. And there's been times in your life that you've been burned by some things, and yet you know that God heals the heart. He binds up the wounds, right? He watches over you, and he's kept you, and you've kept your heart with all diligence, as the Bible says. And now it's like there is a freshness of the outpouring of the Spirit of God over your life in touching people with the love of God.
All right. On YouTube, Marissa from Cree Nation Northern. I can't read the rest of that, but Marissa on YouTube. And I think your last name is Enish. I'm not sure. But Marissa, I had a sense for you that the Lord is reminding you of his faithfulness and his goodness, that he hasn't forgotten one promise that he's spoken to you, and that there's a refreshing, and I see you gaining momentum. There's times that you may feel as though some things are like slow moving, but the Lord is giving to you a greater understanding of the momentum that he has brought to you and staying in step with what he's doing.
Okay, Teresa in Northern Quebec. Teresa, you are very strong, and you've had to be strong. You've had to take responsibility for things, even, before it was time for you to take responsibility, and you've shouldered them well. I see a refreshing coming to you, spirit, soul, and body, and experiencing the joy of your salvation.
All right, Jennifer Barker McCauley from New Jersey. Jennifer, I saw the Lord bringing to you greater wisdom and understanding, and there are some situations around you where it could feel a bit confusing and like you're trying to put some pieces together and causing things to line up. And I see the Lord doing a work within you. It's like a greater sense and awareness of his presence and his peace working in the midst of all of that and settling some things for you.
Okay. I just saw Erica. Let me see. You moved that fast, I think, Cher.
Sorry.
That's okay. Well.
Oh, right here?
Erica in Pennsylvania. Yes, on Facebook. Erica in Pennsylvania. Erica, I see. I'm sure you've watched the movie. I can't think what it's called now, where the woman clears out the closet and she makes it her prayer closet. And she has a whole list, what she prays through. And I saw just a list. It's like it's on your heart, people that you're believing for. And I felt the Lord say that he has heard the prayers you've prayed and they are effective. Don't give up.
All right, Nigel from Beacon, New York.
Hey,
Nigel, I just had a sense for you that the Lord is, it was almost like putting, like when somebody would put together like a stamp and they stamp something like something's official. That's what I'm trying to say. and I had this sense that the Lord is doing something and it's almost like it's officially taking place. And I see the Lord bringing to you a greater confidence and determination not to quit or give up, but to know that you stay the course of what the Lord's called you to do.
Okay. Jules, both from Australia. Jules, there's healing in your hands. And we know Jesus said, lay hands on the sick and they will recover. You care about the whole person, spiritually, in their soul, their physical body. And there is that heart to want to see wholeness and healing. And I felt the Lord say, stir up your faith and keep on going and keep on believing. And there will be more opportunities for you to pour into ones that really need the touch of God.
All right, Rebecca Lynn Dixon from Kentucky. Rebecca, I saw you being strengthened in faith, and that there are many things that you could find yourself doing and being busy about, but the Lord is put within you a heart to really seek first his kingdom, and that faith is soaring within you, and you're growing in expectation, knowing that the Lord is faithful to his word.
Okay, Henry in Hong Kong. Henry, I just heard the Lord say, you've been a blessing and a huge help. You've been an answer to some issues that have arisen, even some, what we would say, we're looking at problems. God has given you solutions. And this is a time in your life of understanding more and more that God has positioned you where you're at to be that problem solver.
All right. So Erica, that you ministered to, said she thinks the movie was War Room.
Yes. Good girl. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Carolyn McGovern in England. Carolyn, I had a sense for you that the Lord is encouraging you and bringing you like a greater awareness of some of the things that you've done and the impact that you've had in other people's lives and the importance of that, and not to underestimate what he's doing within you.
Okay. D in Wisconsin. Okay. D, I just had this picture of a wicker basket just filled with all kinds of gifts. It reminds me sometimes when we travel and minister in different locations, we've had like those baskets put in our room with little snacks or gifts in them. And it's fun to kind of dig in and see what's there. And I feel like that's really what it's like with you. People know you have so much in you and you're a blessing to so many people.
So Rebecca Lynn Dixon said, thank you both for ministering to the bikers. My father and most men in his family are bikers, so I have a soft spot for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
They had a couple booths down from us was Soldiers for Christ, I think is what they were. Yeah. And it was just so cool to see all of them like in full force. There were a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And so we weren't, the only two tents there. We had a healing tent or prayer tent, and then we had the spiritual reading tent. But then to see that they were there as well. And
that was cool.
Ministering to these bikers. So precious.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It really was.
I could go on talking about it more and more.
Mm.
I was very blessed.
Yeah.
Okay. Judy Campbell Kane, how do you stop that from moving, Charity?
Oh, I can.
Said a year ago last Saturday, I better put my glasses on, July 18th, since I lost my husband, the Lord has really been my strength. It's been a year.
Mm.
Wow, Judy. Wow. May God continue to pour into you strength, and that's not an easy one, I know. Pam Coley said there's a Christian bike group on Maui. Yeah. Which it's fun to see the different Christian bike.
Yeah, it is.
There was some pretty wild ones out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Probably saw, I don't know that anything that we saw was new to us because we've done this thing before.
Sure.
But I think to some people, if you haven't been out in that kind of environment, it might be a little shocking, but to know that we're called to bring the light of the gospel.
Well, the scripture talks about light shines in the darkness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the darkness cannot comprehend it, right? It can't.
Yeah.
And so it was the joy of my heart. It's like my heart is out there. I guess you would say, maybe there's a little bit of prophetic evangelism in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's fun to there's nothing like, you don't know these people, right? I mean, as I can go into any service and there's so many people I don't know when we minister, but to ask God for his love for people, and then they come into the tent or even into, wherever we're at, and you feel love for them.
Yeah.
And you absolutely know there's no way you could love without the love of God in you. And what you feel for people, it's life-changing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were ministering to a couple people back to back, and one of them, I was trying to describe, I said,
oh, this was so cool.
You're really good with words. And there's this thing that people do. And for some reason it had left me, like, what was it? And so I said, they get up, it's kind of like poetry, and they have music in the background sometimes, and they're like spoken word. I'm like, yes. They're like, that's what I do.
Which
like,
is so
whoa.
funny, because this specific person is definitely out in the world.
Well, yeah.
Right. And yet I think she does spoken word. And I was like, wow. Okay. But here's what's interesting.
Well, you're just saying you wouldn't necessarily peg them as that.
Right.
Correct.
But it's interesting because people are on a journey, and some plant, some water. And I felt like right at that moment, you were watering the purpose of God in her life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And God will bring the increase. Somewhere along the way, she's going to be totally captivated with the Lord, no doubt.
Yeah. So if you think of it sometime this week, and you're thinking about some of the people that were impacted from the biker tent, and you just pray for anyone impacted with prayer from the prayer tent or the prophetic words that we gave to them, that they would continue to follow that and know that, God has a plan and a future for them. So, and
then I'm going to just request from the accident we had at the end of June. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. A car pulled in front of me across a 4-lane highway. I still don't understand all of that, but anyways, they totaled my car because I've had it 5 years, and the mileage is excessive mileage because we do a lot of travel, right?
Yeah.
So they totaled it. And so the budget for finding a car is very small.
So you can pray that we find a really good vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like an impossibility right now. And now we're kind of on this time crunch to get something. So I would really, really appreciate your prayers for it. You have to have a car.
Yeah.
Although maybe I should buy a horse.
No. Thank you all so much for joining us here online. And we look forward to being with you next week, same time, same place, God willing, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday nights. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.
God bless you.